Hello, Collective. I'm back. I actually wanted to pull, what was it, some Oracle cards for myself this morning. I'm feeling like a little under the weather and just like, yuck. Like, that's how I feel. Like I didn't want to get up and take my son to school. I didn't want a doll. I don't want a human today. And it's like, I'm not sure if any of you guys are feeling like that post new moon in Taurus, but I feel like there was an aspect about the new moon in Taurus that made us like dig deep about ourselves. And maybe you're not happy with some of the things that maybe you've done and or allowed yourself to experience up until this point. That was like a revelation for me. So I'm trying not to like beat myself up about it or like be really hard. I'm just see my left eyes twitching as confirmation, but I'm really trying to move past that so I can move forward. 10:34 on the timer, and my battery percentage is also 34%. But if that resonates with you, this is definitely confirmation. But I'm just feeling like, as we moved through that new moon in Taurus, because, Taurus is that Venus energy, right? It's really a quality about us learning how to love ourselves, even under the yuckiness, right? And there was a video that I watched over the weekend. Shout out to Dr. B Serious. I love his content. And I watched a video this weekend that he did on his YouTube. He goes live every Saturday, and he has a new book out called What's Eating You. And it's like parasitic attacks, whether it's spiritual, physical, all of that. And him and the other lady on there, Dawn Osborne, was talking about like, sometimes we're just used to pain. Sometimes we can be addicted to that. So when it comes to, and that resonated with me a lot, that was a message on the day of the new moon in Taurus. And when it comes to like us being in these new spaces now, even though we're still refining our new self and releasing the old way of thinking and doing, it's like we're still looking for that dopamine that is like negative, like the pain. Like we're still looking for that. Like for so many of us, who've been traumatized, we struggle with PTSD, anxiety, depression, bipolar, whatever it is. We've struggled with like a dynamic where we feel like we need pain in order for us to move on. Like we feel like we carry struggle and pain so well that it was a part of our image or our identity about our old self, the old version of self. And so now we're coming into this new version of self, and it feels like, well, now that I'm not focusing on the pain, what is there to look forward to, right? Which is completely normal. But that was kind of like a revelation for me during the new moon in Taurus, right? So after we got off, after I got done recording the last video, I'm like, you know what? Let me pull some cards for myself and see, like what messages are coming through just to kind of make me feel a little uplifted today, right? Because when I woke up, I didn't want to do anything. I was going to wait to do this video until like later this afternoon. And my guys were like, no, do it now. The energy is still fresh. The sun is out. It's going to be really nice where we're at today. It's supposed to be like 90, we're in southwestern Pennsylvania. So it's like my guys are trying to give me hope. Like they're trying to get me out of bed. I'm like, no, just continue moving on. Continue moving forward. Don't lag now because something big is shifting for you, right? So I wanted to pull these cards from this deck. It's called Divine Beloved by Tasha Silver. And these are really beautiful cards. I love these cards, but I haven't pulled from this deck in like a really, really, really long time. It might even be like a couple years, right? So I just felt the need to pull some cards, and lo and behold, the cards that I did pull is a direct reflection of the cards that I pulled in the previous video for the weekly collective. So this is this is an extra message. This is a bonus to what we have to look forward to this week, and kind of what we need to have a better realization about at this time. So the first card we have is authenticity, and it says, I can be my true self. I love this picture. I think it's so pretty. And a lot of these cards have like Hindu art on them, okay, whether it's yoga, Hindu gods and goddesses. But the card says, Change me, divine beloved, into one who has the courage to be my true self. Allow me to honor my sexuality, desires, and needs as sacred expressions of your divine love. And I feel like that is definitely resonating with the cards that I pull about us having to like dig deep into ourselves and understand that we're deserving, right? Like we put limiting beliefs on ourselves, and the universe is like, we're waiting for you to get it together so we can give you what is meant for you, right? And the next card is attachment. It says, I release all attachments. This is really pretty too. Gold could also be like a common theme with the collective at this time. I know it's came up for me and a couple other people as well that I'm close to. So gold could be like a really big common theme. That's like, you know, themes of like enlightenment and transformation. And especially I'm hearing the word transcendence. That's associated with with the color gold. But this card says, change me, divine beloved, into one who trusts that the perfect relationship always arrives on time. Let me feel worthy and deserving of love. And you see how he's like, she's like wrapped up in him. Like she is soft and he's really stern and like protecting her and like embracing her. And sometimes I feel like when it comes to us thinking of new relationships, we're going to have to really be submissive and understanding that when our person comes in, we don't have to do anything. They're going to love up on us. They're going to protect us. They're going to make sure we're safe. Like, you know, and especially if you're not in a relationship currently, allow your masculinity to do that for you. Allow your masculinity to help you feel safe and protected and to help you with creating whatever it is, momentum or passion for you to have the action to be creative and doing something new. Right. And then the next card says sacred love. I know I am love. This is a beautiful card, right? Yoga. Some of you might be called to do yoga at this time. Um, but the card says, change me, divine beloved, into one who knows my true worth in every moment. Let me experience that I am love. My own sacred self will always draw kindred spirits. And I feel like that's what Gemini season is also doing too. You know, not so much of that Aquarius like interconnectedness, but I feel like the Gemini energy that we are about to experience this week as we transition into Gemini season is helping us with those new connections. Like we might have to get out of our head about like, you know, how we want those new connections to take place, how we want to meet new people, we're just going to have to get out of our head and be a little bit more creative and in like letting go of overthinking things like we used to do from the old version of ourselves. And this one is definitely going to hit home. This says competition. I'm yours alone. And this is beautiful. You know, I have one of my spirit animals is elephants. So if you haven't already, look up the spiritual meaning of elephant. This could resonate with you. Okay. But the card says, change me, divine beloved, into one who can trust that you alone are the source for all. Let me say that again. Change me, divine beloved, into one who can trust that you alone are the source for all. Free me from the illusion of scarcity and competition, and let me trust that all needs are always richly met. I am yours alone. I love that. I love that so much. That is giving this card right here from the last reading. You know, like as the universe is giving something to you, they're giving you something of that is a reflection of you in the universe, right? So as long as we are like, even though we could still be in our head about certain things, it's like, you know, we are a divine reflection of the universe. So the universe isn't perfect. The universe has chaos and negativity and, you know, some form of duality, which is going to be an expression of us to be able to dive into with this Gemini season because it's that clashing of self, you know, you having to separate yourself from what you think is truly a fact, but it's not. It's just you being in your head about something. So now, as we're going into Gemini season, allow yourself to tap into that duality and really look at yourself in a different way. Allow yourself to look at yourself as a reflection of the universe. You are You are a part of divine source creator. You have God DNA within you. You are a reflection of source in the universe. So I hope that resonated with you guys. And I hope this helped give you a little bit of extra clarity and love up on yourself this week. Bye.